Yeah, what up? So, wanted to make a quick video just updating on how, the system of capitalism eats itself. So, we have the sanctions against Russia being put in place, but at the same time, you have the poorest sectors of the American economy having to pay for that basically at the pump. So, and on top of that, you got oil companies making ridiculous amount of profits. Nothing being put in place to stop them. So inflation is a monster that basically keeps growing and feeds on itself until something's done. So um, yeah, wanted to at least make that quick point. On top of that, um, as usual, U.S. going in influencing certain organizations, in this case, NATO, into pushing uh, European membership for Ukraine and NATO membership into the organization for Ukraine. Um, Russia wasn't having it. So just to wrap it up quickly, just Russia went in. I think it was the 24th of February. Um, you know, quickly made their point. I think about a day ago they had already started taking over some of the airfields in the fourth largest city in Ukraine. So now Zelensky was reaching out, and he's open to negotiations. So it looks like it's another L for imperialism. Um, the U.S. doesn't have the same influence it had before. Before it was a unipolar world where whatever the U.S. said basically went, and if not, they still did it, and their allies went along with it. Um, we're looking at economies now having influence on the global scene. First of all, China, whose economy is going to be the number one economy in the world pretty soon. You got Russia, number one exporter of grain in the world. You have India's economy, you know. You have South Africa's economy. You have Brazil. So you have a lot of these countries that before weren't major players, but that now, because they hold influence and have a share of the market, um, they're not necessarily going to acquiesce to Uncle Sam's interest. You saw what happened with Zelensky. He basically thought he was going to get support. Um, Apparently, he doesn't know American history. He's going to get a little support to disrupt and, needle, Russia. But, the U.S. is that, at the end of the day, not willing to start World War III over Ukraine. So, and unfortunately, I don't have editing software, or don't know what type of software to get right now. I'll have to look into that. But so I can splice in certain clips. But this is the audio for Biden.
The idea that we're going to send in offensive equipment and have planes and tanks and trains going in with American pilots and American crews. Just understand, don't kid yourself, no matter what you all say. That's called World War III. Okay?
So basically, I don't know if you guys how close you've been keeping up, but um, Poland has some MiGs that um, Ukraine wanted us. So Poland didn't want to give them to Ukraine because that would be basically a provocation, and Poland didn't want to get bombarded. So then Poland wanted to give it to the U.S., transfer those MiGs to the U.S. so the U.S. could give them new American-made planes, and the U.S. could transfer the MiGs to Ukraine. Um, as you saw, Biden wasn't willing to do that. So yeah. All right, man. That's how it is. A quick update. Want to keep it under 5 minutes, but I wasn't able to. Stay up, subscribe, follow, like, trying to get to 100 subs because before I could live stream, and now YouTube switched up their requirements where you need 100 subs to go live. So, thank you. Peace.